Well, for the first time, Marine veteran Daniel Penny has addressed the chokehold death of a homeless man during a disturbance on a New York City subway train. Penny told the New York Post that the incident, quote, had nothing to do with race, and he is deeply saddened by the loss of life. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vikas Bajaj. Vic, it's great to have you on. I want to put this up because this is what else Daniel Penny said. He said, quoting here to the New York Post, "I'm deeply saddened by the loss of life. It's tragic what happened to him. Hopefully we can change the system that so desperately failed us." And I'm wondering, you know, there's the old adage where lawyers don't really want their clients to talk to the media at all. Does this help him? Does it hurt him? What does it do to the case, Vic?
Well, race is the elephant in the room in this case. We talked recently about the district attorney's decision to move forward relatively quickly before a full investigation with a manslaughter charge. We would be remiss if we were not to identify race as being a significant factor in that decision. So I think this was a good decision by the defense. And let's not forget now, Bragg has to present this to a grand jury. Now, there is an obligation in prosecutorial offices throughout the union to present statements and evidence that's exculpatory or that could lead to a different conclusion other than guilt in this case. I believe in a very charismatic and strategic way, the defense may be giving an obligation to the prosecutor to admit this statement made to the public during the grand jury proceedings, thereby wiping away the fact or the allegation that race was the predominant factor in this unfortunate incident.
Yeah, and it seems like that the defense in this thing, or the prosecution rather, is kind of aiming for that, because a lawyer for the family of Jordan Neely said the following, and I'm quoting, "This is an advertisement to soften the public's view of Daniel Penny, who choked Jordan Neely to death. We never called him a white supremacist. We called him a killer." Is the effort to say, hey, look, we're not saying this is a hate crime. We're saying this is murder, and he should be put away for life because he murdered somebody.
Well, that's exactly right, Trace, but let's not, again, forget the elephant in the room here. Yes, that specific attorney may not have called Mr. Penny a racist, but the media has, and the majority of individuals are looking at this as a white-on-black crime. That's the reality of it. Now, espousing that belief and saying, hey, this had nothing to do with race, I was protecting myself and others, puts the issue that the grand jury will have to decide squarely in the crosshairs, and it does the best to have this mitigating statement put out there in the public rather than just a one-sided fight here.
I want to put this up. This is the lawyers in Bryan Kohberger's case. We talked about him killing 4 University of Idaho students allegedly. Here's what his attorneys did in court today. Watch.
Is Mr. Kohberger prepared to plead to these charges?
Your Honor, we will be standing silent.
Because Mr. Kohberger is standing silent, I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on each charge.
Standing silent, Vic, what's the strategy here, and what do they gain from this?
If there is a strategy, in this case, Trace, it's minimal. You know, let's not forget that the defendant in this case is a criminology major, and he may, like many green or new attorneys, believe that the right to remain silent carries through every stage of the proceedings, which it does, and that he has his constitutional right to remain silent. There's no strategic advantage. It doesn't soften the blow, and it surely doesn't lead the district attorney's office to say, hey, we may err on one side or the other vis-a-vis the decision for the death penalty. It's really just no consequence to this unique act that he portrayed in court today.
Yeah. Vic, great to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.